Hey everyone, it's Brown Eyed Girl 328. So what I'd like to do today is, I know I was supposed to do a scissor collection video, but what I actually like to try and do is to show you some of the stuff that I've done, just so that you can see that I actually do cross stitch and not just collect. What I do with my pieces is I normally end up giving them all away. I keep very few for myself. And I also do model stitching, which is where a designer will actually give you a piece to stitch and then they'll reimburse you with either fabric or floss or a pattern. So I've done a lot of that. So what I'd like to start off with now is the one that I'm currently working on, and it's this one here. It's called Butterfly Reflection by Sue Coleman, and it's a butterfly with reflection on it. I will be showing you at the end of the video the progress, because I usually take progress pictures like once a week or once every 2 weeks, just so I can see how much I've done. So that's the pattern, and I'll show you the stitching here if I can bring it up here. I'll try and bring it up here. It's probably not going to all fit, but this is how much I've done so far. So I've got the big butterfly and I'm doing the side here right now. So that's how much I've done so far. So as you can see, I actually do stitch, I just don't collect, but that's the one that I've done. I'm also doing another one, and the other one that I'm doing is actually a model stitching piece, and this is a picture of what it looks like. It's just called a 9-block log quilt, and it's just 9 blocks. And I've actually got it, it's my work in progress, and it's on my Q-snap, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm not going to take it off the Q-snap because it's going to be hard to move, but this is one block of it, and I don't know if you can see here, it's actually 9 blocks all together, but this is one block of it here. So that's the model stitching piece that I'm stitching for someone in the States right now. So we'll move along here, and as I said, I usually end up giving everything away. All the model stitches go back to the stitchers, and all my pieces that I've stitched I end up giving to people. So what I've done is I've set up my computer here, and I have pictures of everything that I've done. So I'm just going to go through the pictures and show you what I've done. The one that you see on the screen right now is a Joan Elliott piece, and I stitched 5 pieces for her for one of her books, and her book that I stitched it for is called Joan Elliott's Greeting Cards, and this is what the book looks like here, so hopefully you can see that. So I did 5 pieces for her, and that was one of them. So as we move along here, I'll scroll over here. There's another picture of that piece. It's a better picture that you can see. Next one here, that's the back. As you can see, I like to keep my backs really neat. I know people say, well, nobody looks at the back, but I look at the back when I'm doing it, and you know, I don't expect it to look as good as the front, but I like to keep it fairly neat, you know, no knots, no, you know, I cut all my threads, so that's what it looks like. This one here is a Stony Creek one. It's called Barnyard Beauty. And when my husband saw it, he fell in love with it. He fell in love with the car, and he asked me to do it, so I started it. And it went fine, but it took me 2 years to do. Now, the reason it took me 2 years was because I would do a little bit, and then I'd stop. I'd do a little bit, and then I'd stop. And then when I finally got most of it done, I said, okay, this is it. I've got to finish it. So I stuck to it, and I finally finished it. So that's that one. There's another picture of it. That's the back of the Barnyard Beauty. As you can see, I like to try and keep them fairly neat. Just because, like I said, no one looks at the back, but I do, and that's just my OCD kicking in. There's another one of the back. This one here is one that I did for my niece. I usually take a lot of pictures of my progress just so I can put them together after and see what they look like. So that's that one. This one here, I just wanted something quick to stitch at lunchtime, and I really thought that that was cute, so I just grabbed it, picked it up, and did it, and framed it. There's another picture of that one. This is the Home Sweet Home one that's finally finished. I did this one for my niece and her boyfriend because they bought a house in 2012. So I put their name on the bottom, and it says, "A house is made of walls and beams, a home is made of love and dreams." So I just love this one, and it came out really good with the white frame and the blue border. There's another close-up picture of it. There's another picture of it. And another picture. This one here, my husband is a huge Mad Magazine fan, and he's been collecting Mad Magazine since he was 14, I think. So he knows that I have a program called PC Stitch, and he asked me, "Oh, you know, you should stitch this for me," like all the other things that he wants me to stitch for him. So I did, and it took me about a month to do this one, just because I would do it at lunchtime, and it was a quick one. So there's another picture of it. There's the back of it, and there's a picture. I just chose a simple black frame and just framed it and said, you know, here, and don't bother me. There's another picture of it, and another. This one here is for a designer called Katya Diaz. I think this was the pattern that I had chose for one of the model stitching pieces that I had done for her. And this is where I'm from. I'm from Portugal, so I chose this one. She does have other ones with other countries. I think she has England. She has a whole bunch of them. So if you go to Katya Diaz, I think it's katyadiaz.com, you can see all the ones that she has on there. She's got a few of them. There's another picture of it framed. This one I have hanging up in my cross stitch room. Yeah, there's a picture of the two that I did that are hanging up in my cross stitch room on the back wall. There's another picture. This one here was another Joan Elliott piece for that greeting cards book. This one here is the back of a bride and groom that I did years ago. I have it still. I haven't got it framed yet. Just haven't found a frame that would look good with it. This one here was a little ornament for a card that I did for a friend for last year for Christmas. That was just one that took like a day or two to do. This one here is a small picture. I have a bigger picture, so I'll show you on the next pictures. That's a small picture of one of them. This is the back of a towel that I did that says cherries on it. This one here I have hanging up in my bedroom still. I did this one years ago. I bought it as a kit and did it as a kit. This is the back of that Portugal flag one. That's the front of the Portugal flag. Sorry, it's not a flag, it's a fan. This one here is one that I did years ago, and I actually framed it and gave it to my friend's aunt. So this is another card for the Joan Elliott greeting cards book, and this one says friend on it. That's the finished product. That's the back without the back stitching. That's the back with the back stitching. And that's the front without the back stitching. This one here, my husband, another request from him. As you can see, I got a lot of requests from him. He's the one that keeps me busy. He loves the Toronto Maple Leafs, so I found this pattern online and I bought it, and I wanted to do it for him, so that's the picture. That's the back of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's the front. Sorry, it's on a side view. This is the back of that flower one that I did for my friend's aunt. This is that towel, that smaller picture that I had back before. It's just a towel with a cross stitch, and did some cherries along the band that you can cross stitch on. There's another towel, and this is another one that comes with a band that you can cross stitch on, and I just did kitchen on that one. Here's the front of that towel, and it just says cherry. It's just a towel with a piece inside of it where you can cross stitch, and I just did cherries on it. This one here my sister had done, and I asked her for the pattern, and she gave me the pattern, and it's just two colors. The border's one color and the middle's all one color, so this is really easy to do. It might take some time, but it's just, you don't have to keep switching colors. So I actually ended up giving this one to my friend's mother, but I'm thinking if I ever get around to it and I have time, I might stitch it again just for me, because I like this one. Quite a few pictures of it. This one here is the front of that bride and groom. And I don't have this one framed yet, but what I'm thinking of doing with this one is eventually, if I find someone special, I will probably give it away. What I think would look nice is put their names on the bottom and get it framed. I think that would look really nice. There's another picture of it. There's a front picture, a close-up of the flower one that I gave away. There's another picture of the flower one. I've got a couple pictures of my work on the Barnyard Beauty. Just as I said, I usually like to take pictures as I go and as I'm stitching, and then what I'll do is put them together and see how much I've done. This one I did years ago. Sorry, it's not straight, but it's I actually found it the other day, forgot that I had it, and I've been trying to find a frame for it, but it's just hard to find a frame just because the picture's not a standard size. It's not an 8.5 by 11, it's not 11 by 14. It's a weird number like 10 by 13, and those kind of frames sometimes are hard to find, so just haven't gotten around to framing that one yet. There's a smaller picture of the kitchen one. This one I did last year for, I usually like to do a Christmas piece and a Halloween piece, just because my husband is a big fan of Halloween and a big fan of Christmas, so I did this one as a surprise for him for Christmas. And it's a Lizzie and Kate one, which is really cute, and it was really quick to do. And this little flower thingy was actually my menu holder for my wedding. I had a couple left over, so instead of putting it on a frame, I just used the menu holder as something to hold it up, and it kind of looked really cute. Next one here. This was another Joan Elliott piece that I did. There's another picture of it. This one here I found on the internet, and eventually what I'd like to do with this one day is make a cross-stitch pattern of it. I just love the picture and just put it in my pictures just to save, so that eventually I could do a picture of it and cross-stitch one day. This one here is another Joan Elliott piece, and it says friend. This one is another picture of that Barnyard Beauty. Here's the Barnyard Beauty. You can see part of it and what it looked like framed, and it's hanging up in our living room wall. This one here was a piece that I did for the Sandy Hook victims. Someone had set up a group on Facebook and was asking if people wanted to stitch pieces for it, so I said, you know what, I will. And the teddy bear was actually designed by Joan Elliott. She came up with that design, and then what I did was I put the kids' names on top, and on the bottom I put the teachers' names, and then I put my name on the bottom that I stitched it. So this one here is Katia Diaz piece as well. It's called Sweet Dreams. So that's the front of it, and that's the back of it. This one here, I can't remember who I stitched it for, but I did it a couple of years ago, and it's just some gingerbread men, and there's another picture of it, and another. This one here was also a model stitching piece. Sorry, it's not right side up, so you have to look at it sideways. I think I have a picture of it right side up somewhere. There's another sideways one, another sideways one. There it is. That's right side up. So that was a model stitching piece that I did a couple of years ago. There's another picture of that. I call this one a Victorian cross stitch just because of the people in it. But as you can see, it's really nice, and it's really easy because it's just all one color. This one here I had done just a quick one, and it was for a coworker, and what I ended up doing with it was I ended up cutting it and putting in an ornament, and made an ornament for her for Christmas. Oh, and we're back to the beginning, I think. Yeah. So what I'd like to do now is just go over to, if you can bear with me here, we'll go over to my butterfly. And so this is the one that I'm currently doing that I showed you at the beginning. There's the pattern and the floss, and the fabric that I chose for it was Fiddler's 14 count oatmeal. So usually this is what I like to do. I usually like to take pictures of my stuff and go back to it after. So this is my progress, and I started it on April the 19th of 2013, and so as you can see, I like to take my progress pictures and then just go back and see. I'm still doing this one, but I've kind of stopped. I'm trying to focus on my model stitching piece. What I'm trying to do is rotate between the two just because I have to get them done. So as you can see, it's nice to go back after and look at your progress and see how far you've gotten. There, we're back to the beginning. I'm just going to go back here and see if I have anything other that I'd like to show you. I have one here that I'd like to show you. I have this one, it's all kitted up and it's ready to go, and it's this pattern here, and it's a Coca-Cola pattern, and I'm figuring it'll probably take me about 3 years to do this one. But I have it all kitted up. I'm actually going to do it on the 18 count Magic Guide fabric, which I've normally never used, but I'm going to use. And there's about 150 colors, so that I will get to eventually once I finish all my other projects. Let me see if there's anything else on here. Oops, sorry, bear with me, I just got out of my thing there. I think that's about it. So that's about it. If you want to see any of my other stuff, just let me know, and I'll make a video. I'm also going to make another video today of the cross stitch haul that I got last weekend. We went to a thrift store and I got a haul from there. We went on another road trip last weekend and I got a serger on my road trip last weekend, so I'll show you a picture of that. And there was also a lady on Kijiji who was selling some of her cross stitch stuff, so I actually went to her house and she let me go through her books, so I got some stuff from there. And then this past weekend, actually yesterday, we went to the Value Village again and I got some more stuff from there. So a lot of videos to show you. So please like and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.